everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Hello!
I'm Roy Kennedy.
And I'm Mike Delisio. Hello.
Merry Christmas in November, or at least this is when you should start shopping for people. And this is the Dice Towers series of videos we're doing about Christmas lists. We try to pick games that are available and games that you can buy for other people for Christmas or give this list to somebody for yourself. Today we're talking about thematic games. We're trying to pick games that have a strong theme to them. And oh my goodness, there's a lot of them. This is actually one of my favorite things to talk about because there's a lot of games out there that like chess, which have no theme, but these have theme.
Yeah, and it's nice to be able to find something that really specifically speaks to someone, that they like one particular setting or theme or, some intellectual property. Then you can really target someone with a personal gift. It feels very personal.
Well, here we go. 12 games. Take it away, Mike.
So I'm kicking off this thematic games list with a game that has some of the most impressive components you'll ever find in a modern board game. This is Too Many Bones. If you know somebody on your list that likes games that have a little bit of an RPG element where you're building up your character's stats, and especially if they love to roll a lot of dice, Too Many Bones is a great choice. You are playing as what are called gearlocks, which are these characters that are trying to defeat a tyrant. And the characters are represented by poker chips, and you've got these beautiful neoprene mats. So Too Many Bones is a game that has a really strong appeal to people who want a sense of progression and love a good-looking game.
My first pick here is Pandemic Legacy Season 0. And believe me, if I hadn't picked this, somebody else would have, because this is a very thematic game, of course, continuation to the Pandemic and Pandemic Legacy games, but you can just play this one. You don't need to have played all the previous ones. Sure, you get more story, but you don't need to. It is very immersive. It has a great cooperative feel to it, an evolving storyline. And if you enjoy the setting, you like the time period, this takes place in the 60s, then I think you're really going to get into this one. So Pandemic Legacy Season 0.
If viruses aren't your thing, then maybe Night of the Living Dead is. This is a game based on that old classic zombie movie, Night of the Living Dead. It's zombie side. In this, you play the people of that movie, the characters of that movie, and the ghouls are coming and attacking the house, and you need to barricade the house up. In fact, there are many different missions where you go not just taking place of the events in the movie, but going outside of that, beyond that, escaping from the zombies, getting on the road, getting the truck and escaping. It's a very well done game based on a very popular series called Zombicide, but this one is extremely thematic. You're fighting against nameless ghouls, and there's this feeling of dread that's inside the game that if you want a game for Halloween or just any time of the year where you're feeling kind of spooky, I definitely would recommend this one.
So we're going from zombies to space alien themes. Mine is Project Elite. This is an action-packed real-time game where you're rolling dice as fast as you can, trying to get different symbols to be able to move up and take out all these different aliens that are trying to encroach on your base and take everything over. It's cooperative, so you're working with all the other players, and it feels thematic and tense as these aliens keep creeping up and creeping up. You're unlocking weapons and being able to blast these aliens away. One of the fun things about this game is that you get to take out tons and tons of aliens. You're just pecking them off the board constantly each turn. It is real time, but you get breathers in between to be like, okay, regroup, some more aliens come out, what's going to happen here? And then you just keep going. So for me, Project Elite.
Okay, my next thematic game is one based off of a series of young adult novels called The Reckoners. The Reckoners is a cooperative game, meaning you and the people around the table are all working together for a common cause. You're not trying to defeat each other. You're all trying to defeat a big bad enemy, in this case known as Steelheart, who's going around the city of New Chicago, causing all kinds of problems. You're rolling dice, you're playing cards, you really feel this sense of impending doom. The Reckoners does a great job of ramping up the tension, and so you really feel like you've earned it if you win this game.
My next pick here, which is called Godzilla Tokyo Clash, is perfect for people who like two things. If you like Godzilla, you like kaijus, you like monsters, all that stuff, and you like messing with the other people at the table. This is very thematic. You're going to have these monsters clashing over different locations, throwing themselves at each other, lots of fighting, very fun, simple game to get into. But if you get into that theme, you get into the roaring and the being silly, you are going to have a fantastic time with this one. I recommend it. Got to go in there with a good attitude of being silly and smashing each other. You're going to walk away having a really fun time. So this is a good one. I recommend it.
As You Wish. One of the greatest movies of all time is Princess Bride. And this game, the Princess Bride adventure book game, lets you go through that movie. You are playing cooperatively with everybody else, and you are going through multiple scenarios of the movie, trying to keep the boy from getting bored of the book and closing the book. So you're working together to first get the farmhand out to adventure, and then you're escaping. In this game, you're going to be escaping a fire swamp and climbing the cliffs of insanity and all the different things that you know and love. Beautiful artwork, a very straightforward story, but a lot of fun working together to try to beat the game. This is one that is, if you like the movie at all, you will enjoy this game quite a bit, and sometimes it's nice just to take a break and work together with everyone at the table for a change.
All right, from the Dread Pirate Roberts to a pirate game from Plaid Hat called Forgotten Waters. This game feels like a giant story game with amazing narration, as you can actually use an app to have the narration played out to you. And you're all working as a team trying to get your ship on different missions, and there's different scenarios you can play, but it's always awesome to build up your different pirates, and this just has dripping with that pirate themes, and I think it's the best pirate game out there. So, Forgotten Waters.
All right, Roy brought up Forgotten Waters. Sometimes in those waters can hide some evil, evil, evil creatures like Cthulhu and his minions. Cthulhu Death May Die is my next choice on the thematic games list. This is a game that is another cooperative game where you and your friends around the table are trying to defeat either Cthulhu or one of the other monsters in that Cthulhu mythos. And you're doing this through dice rolling primarily again, and utilizing powers that you can build throughout the game. It's a game that really, it ramps up. It ramps up really quickly, and there are times where you feel like it's hopeless, and many times it is hopeless, but you can also really feel powerful towards the end of the game. A real nice sense of progression in Cthulhu Death May Die. Beautiful components as well, and a nice kind of almost horror theme in this one. That's Cthulhu Death.
My final pick here is Detective City of Angels, another game that's a period game. It takes place in the 1940s. You are a detective. You are trying to solve a crime. The box comes with 8 or so crimes, and you are going to be going through them trying to figure out the whodunit. This is a very immersive game. It's gorgeously illustrated, but it's really interesting. See, there's a few ways you can play out of the box. You can play where everybody's trying to solve this thing on their own. You can play where you cooperate, and you can play, and this is the central mode, where somebody represents all of the baddies or all of the sort of conversations you have, and you have to, as you question them and you read their responses, you have to decide, are they lying to me or are they telling me the truth? So it's really interesting and clever, very engaging. If you like the cop genre, and you like that time period for that, you're going to love Detective City of Angels.
Well, let's leave the harsh and gritty noir behind and go into a very colorful universe, and this is the Funkoverse. Now, this isn't any specific intellectual property. It is a ton. If you go to the store, you can buy a Harry Potter pack. You can buy a Game of Thrones pack. In fact, you can even buy the Kool-Aid Man. And if you've ever seen the little Funko Pops all over the place, that's kind of what this game is. You are taking smaller versions of those, and you're just having a kind of a brawl. So I might have Batman and Rick and Morty, and you have Robin on your team, and the Joker, and then Jon Snow. And it's the silliness of the mashups is what brings this theming to life, you know, and they are continually releasing new sets where you have the Professor from Back to the Future and Wonder Woman and Cheetah, and there's so much involved in this. And if you've ever wondered if Voldemort could beat Batman, this is the game that you can do that in. And so, yes, we're talking about theming games here. This is a game where there's just theming all over the map. I mean, it's all kinds of themes mashed up into one game. And not only is that a delightful thing in of itself, but the game itself is really fun. Definitely one that I would recommend, Funkoverse.
So the next one is Marvel Champions. Tons of superheroes fighting against villains, all from the Marvel Universe. You have all sorts of different Avengers you can play as, and you're playing out all the different cards, trying to build combos. There's a little bit of deck building, but you can also play it a little bit more casually if you want. There's tons of products for this LCG as well, so there's lots of different thematic things you can do. If you have someone who is into those Marvel games and really enjoys superheroes and likes cooperative games or to play solo, make sure to check out Marvel Champions. So that wraps this one up.
Well, color me shocked to see that Roy put Marvel Champions on there.
Superheroes for the win.
But, I mean, I really like the difference. We got zombies, superheroes, Godzilla, Cthulhu. You know, there's a lot of the strong themes they're just all over the place these days. And we could have gone even farther than this.
This is definitely my category for these 12 days of Christmas. It's like, give me the thematic list. I'll watch that. I'll send that to everybody. That one's the one I really go to.
Yeah, nice wide range of themes as well here. I think you're hitting a lot of bases with these games.
Well, there you go, folks. Check out all the other ones. We'll be posting these all week long. So check out each category, and hopefully you find some gifts to give away to others. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Roy Kennedy.
And I'm Mike DeLisio.
Merry Christmas.